I was thinking, asking myself, sometimes when people are making marriage vows, before they promise each other they'll be together in good and in bad times. But most of the time, you see people parting ways during bad times. Is that likelihood of maybe divorce taking place? Now, imagine you spent on the wedding, you spent millions on the wedding. Remember, there was somebody who came on there somewhere and he was like, I regret doing my wedding. Yes, hello guys, hello gentlemen, hello esteemed ladies. Um, Today's a good day. We wanna talk about something very interesting. But call me Jay.
Yes.
So we want to talk about something very interesting. Come we stay. The idea of come we stay. But not now as a marriage setup, but the idea of come we stay first. Then we test things first before we now decide to marry each other. So we're going to talk about cohabiting before a marriage. We want to see the good sides and the other side of things, that we be able to weigh how things are at the end of the day. So to cohabit is basically to come and live together. I think it came from habitat is a place where people live, so that's where the word came from. So it's cohabitation. So when I talk about cohabitation before marriage, now I don't know, have you ever thought of something like that? Listen for you. Have you ever thought of how life can be when you, for example, decide to cohabit before marrying? How do you think life can be? As you try to imagine, this guy, you kind of like each other, but you're like, let us first test before we decide to have something serious. How do you think life can be? Do you think it can be fun?
Yeah, interesting.
It can be interesting. What will make things interesting?
Everything. The fact that we are just here and we all know we tried first.
Okay. So it can be very interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have an episode to talk about this one. We'll have an episode to talk about marriages, and I don't remember the topic very well, but I wrote it down somewhere. It's slightly related to this, so guys, ensure you watch it up. You watch it. So we want to talk about why is that some people. We want to talk about why some people, prefer to cohabit first before they graduate to marriage. So one of the reasons is because they wanna test things. They wanna test if they're compatible. If they can properly gel. Yeah, because sometimes also one time I was thinking and asking myself, sometimes when people are making marriage vows, before they promise each other they'll be together in good and in bad times. But most of the time you see people parting ways during bad times. When the man loses his job, like during the COVID time 2020, many marriages crumbled because of the bad times thing. Even those who were very in church and they're like, I'll be there for you in good and bad time. Yeah. Things changed. Men suffered that time.
Yeah, true.
So I think the idea of cohabiting first is very important. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, we have stages of relationships. Normally the first stage, which is usually the honeymoon phase, when things are so sweet, like there's that vibe, your heart's burning with love, excitement, and all that. So most of the people believe that all that will be there forever. The time comes when things go down a little bit. So cohabitation can help to test that when things go down. I used able to be compatible, because all that is usually just feelings, nothing serious. Yeah. So are you in a position to, still hold that marriage and, push the ball, to ensure that the ball is rolling, Yeah, so it tests for compatibility. Are you people who can coexist in one space, Let's say, for example, are you people who will be able to, let's say, communicate well, raise issues. If you have conflicts, be in a position to amicably solve them instead of having a lot of drama. So it's one thing. Cohabitation helps to test compatibility. So can you people match at the end of the day? So that is a good thing. Two, it fosters financial practicability. When people stay together, they can now see how they can share bills. How, for example, they can split rent. I know somebody was living with some girl, and they were like, because I'm not married you yet, so we'll be paying half the rent. Half. If it is 10,000, then the lady pays 5,000, then they pays 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and how they also split, other bills. Besides the rent, we have things like shopping, water bills, and many other things. So how they get to split all that. So can be a good thing to help them see if they can handle finances, because a good percentage of a divorce is usually caused by finances issues. Yeah, I would say over 50% of divorce cases, I think, because of finance issues. Yeah. So if people can be able to simulate, the financial matters in a relationship, then can be so that they can be able to foresee some of the things that maybe they never thought at the back of their mind. Then they'll be able to, see how they go about it. Yeah. So it's a good thing. Another thing, it also helps avoid divorce, because you find when, let's say, a couple decides to marry each other before getting to know each other very well, there's that likelihood of maybe divorce taking place. And you imagine you spent on the wedding, you spent millions on the wedding. Remember, there was somebody who came online somewhere and he was like, I regret doing my wedding because it was so costly, and at the end of the day my marriage crumbled. So it will help matters divorce, in the sense that you don't have to divorce, because at least you'll be able to test things, then be like, this is not working, or this and this, but like that, Yeah, so you'll not feel that extreme pain that people feel during a divorce. But there's nobody who usually wins a divorce. At the end of the day, everybody gets hurt. So there's no big award. I know some people say, some women say money, they'll get money from the man, but still, it's never 100% win-win. Both sides also have something to lose. Yeah. So it helps avoid the divorce risk. Then another issue is it reduces loneliness when you're with that person, because also being single has its own challenges, like now being lonely, sleeping alone, especially you can imagine during the cold seasons, it's ice cold and you're in that bed alone, so when you're with this person of yours, you'll be there at least warming each other.
Naturally, we all need each other at least.
Yeah, so
you can't be all alone by yourself for a year or a month or even a week. It's just difficult.
Yeah, so it can help curb the loneliness issue, that at least somebody has company at the end of the day, because humans are social beings, they need at least company sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also
somebody to talk to.
When you're alone or when you feel you're lonely, it creates a lot of things in your mind. It can bring the mental issue problem because that's the time you are thinking about your problems.
Okay.
Thinking
True.
about how people say this, how people did this to you. So when you're maybe with someone you love, you can never think about all the negativities in life.
In fact, yeah, now about the aspect of mental health issues. There's this woman in South Africa, the second wife to Nelson Mandela. When Nelson Mandela was in prison, his wife was outside there pushing his agenda. But you'll find that now in those days you could be prisoned for pushing such agendas, and they're fighting for fighting apartheid policy. Yeah. So the woman was there, pushing the agenda after Mandela because somebody needed to take up that role. So his wife decided to take that role, the second wife, before now the third one. So this woman at one point she got arrested, and she got arrested for a whole year, and it said that at one point when she was in prison, she was forced to talk to cockroaches at least to stay sane. Yeah, she had to talk to cockroaches just to test if she's still mentally upright. So then the day humans need people, you can never be isolated like that.
Yeah, for your well-being.
Yeah.
It's recommended for you to have at least someone you can laugh with, talk to about anything and everything all the time.
Yeah, also another factor that has make it possible for people to cohabit nowadays because of social acceptance. A lot nowadays people have normalized when people come and live together. Like it's okay. Actually, nowadays most of the people are living the traditional way of doing things that you must first marry, have a wedding. Nowadays, all that is fading away day in day out. Yeah, so people are like, let me tell you something. And this is one thing people should listen to me clearly. Nowadays people say that back in the days marriages used to work. There's something that marriages were not working. One person in that marriage was surviving, and especially it was women. They used to persevere. They used to keep quiet with all the sufferings. Those people used to say marriages used to work. Marriages never used to work. Just that one used to be quiet, one chose to be silent, and to persevere through all these, hiccups silently. But nowadays, when everybody is vocal, nobody is tolerating nonsense. You find that at the end of the day, things will not work. So marriages have always had trouble since time immemorial. They just keep lying to us sometimes. Women are having troubles, but they're always staying in those marriages. Even if they're abusive, they just chose to stay in such marriages. Yeah, so you can't say that they are working as such. Because even nowadays, so it's just a few that were working, but people are very intentional. Just like right now, we can't also say all marriages are not working. Some are working well. Some are working for those individuals who approach marriage with a lot of um, intentionality. Yeah, so they should never lie to us. Some marriages were not working, even with baby boomers and all other generations. Because when you get to listen to stories that happened in the ancient times, you'll also hear of divorce and abusive partners. Yeah.
I think people just try to make us think things were better before, but you don't say they weren't.
Even one of the holy books says that there's nothing new under the sun. So all this has just been there. Yeah.
The fact that you're coming to stay with a person with different personality, characters, with viewers, it it will definitely not be straight.
Yeah.
To struggle to fit in.
You have to do a lot of adjustment.
Yeah.
Then also cohabitation before marriage helps you to plan, that is family planning and children, whereby you're able to now look at yourself and be like, okay, right now let us check our finances. Are we able to bring in new people? Because you see, children, especially when they're young, they just come to feed what you have. So if you don't have, good finances, at the end of the day, you may have trouble. Yeah. So, um, cohabitation helps people also to get to plan families. So they can decide that for now we don't have children, but we can decide to do it after 2 to 3 years when we are at least somewhere matters, finances. Also, some women say cohabitation helps to know if the man is good in bed, because you don't to make the vows and the promise to be with somebody and he's not good in bed, because they'll be breaking the vows. They're like, I first need to test and see if the engine is working very well. I have to do some road test. And some men will also say, I want to see if this woman is fertile. Yeah, if she can bear children. Yeah. So those are just but a handful of reasons as to why people cohabit. But now we're going to look at the other side of the coin. Some of the things that also may not be foreseen when people are cohabiting before marriage. One is religious and the cultural views. Most of religions dictate that things must be done in a particular structure. So they provide a structured approach to things, whereby they say that you must first marry before you do other things in life. So for some people, if you don't have a thick skin, you may struggle with that. Yeah, you may struggle because some people will keep questioning you, why are you doing this? Because our religious beliefs don't um, give this as an outline, as a guide to approaching this. So, and also cultural views as well, not only religious views. Two, we have legal challenges. Suppose something happens when you're cohabiting, because you see, when people marry, after they marry, they get marriage certificates that is is constituted in government constitutions, under the law. But at the end of the day, you find things like cohabiting have not yet been included in the constitution and various legal structures. So you may find, in case of anything, we may not have structures that have been put in place to, let's say, determine or dictate how some of the things or challenges in cohabitation may have. So we don't have formal legal structures. Then also we have another challenge of gender roles, whereby one partner may feel like they are overwhelmed with the roles. For example, the man may feel like I'm the one who is constantly paying all the bills. The woman may feel like I'm the one who is constantly working on this house chores. I need help. So we also have problems with gender roles. But if these partners are very intentional, they can decide to sit down and adjust so that they can have fair distribution of roles. Then this is an issue with commitment. If both partners know that at the back of their mind that they are just doing this to test, it's trial and error. So you may find sometimes some people may not be very committed to this whole cohabitation, this whole trial and error thing. So they may not give it the 100% commitment that it deserves, so that they can be able to at least get good results because it's a testing, so at least some basic commitment is needed. Some people may not be so committed, they'll be like, it's not something serious, so let me just do things anyhow. Also, anxiety is also an issue whereby some people can decide to be anxious because they don't know what to expect and they don't know if maybe this person may meet some of the expectations, usually when they have problems with communicating and now that things are not so crystal clear. An issue like anxiousness may be there because you're not properly settled at the back of your mind. You don't have a clean, clear structure of how things should be done. Then also some people argue that it can alter the passion. Once you start staying with somebody, you'll find that that zeal kind of goes down after you start getting to learn about their weaknesses. You get to learn about their habits that are not so good. They are not so pleasing, their addictions and all that. So it may kill the passion, that zeal that you start the relationship with may die with the time. Yeah. So some people argue also cohabiting may kill the zeal. But for me I would say it's very okay if the zeal the passion dies before marrying, it's still okay. Instead of marrying, because either way it will just lead to that same destination if people are not so intentional about marrying, making informed decision, being very intentional, researching, men getting to know the nature of women getting to know the nature of men. Yeah, so the idea of tarnishing of passion also makes a lot of sense. So you can find that all of a sudden, because you see, the excitement in relationship, that passion usually there because everybody is showcasing their good side. But once you get to see the shortcomings of the other person, once you realize it, people will be like, like this man has one leg that is fatter than the other, and one is longer than the other. Or this man bedwets. Or for example, this woman pollutes so badly at night. This one farts so badly you can't even survive the day. You sleepwalk, or some are even they don't believe in witchcraft as such.
It exists.
I'll do research until I see it myself. Nothing is believing. Okay. So I want to have an encounter with a witch. If possible, just follow this witch back to back as this witch does his or her thing. Okay. Yeah. Which is women, feminine, huh? Okay. Then we have an issue to deal with breakup complications, whereby when you break up after cohabiting for some time, at the end of the day, you're used to somebody, you're used to spending time with them, you're used to the good vibes, the good time, the touch and all that. Let's say if somebody's love language is touch and all that. Touch, eh? Okay. Maybe you're used to gifts from this person, then all of a sudden, things stop. So you'd find that we have issues at the end of the day. It will feel like it's a divorce. The same way also women feel like their friendship breakups is like a divorce. Women to take friendship seriously until you even have to break up. Men who don't have friendship breakups, we just cease talking to each other and stuff. But also we don't have as men we never have a lot of problems with each other. Yeah, I think ladies you should sit with us and take notes. You should embrace our way of doing things. Yes, we don't struggle with the friendships. We should learn how we do things.
Nice. I don't know if it's a question, but let me just put it out. Thinking in a state whereby you're constantly in fear or worried about your partner knowing something about you.
Knowing something about you.
Yeah.
So
Constantly in fears and worries. What if they know? How will they react? What if my life?
So I can say, okay. So you should test all these things in the cohabitation stage. So that if things go south, you just know here things won't work out.
So you have
instead of hiding them, then getting to now the real marriage, all these things, then at the end of the day, let me tell you, we just skipped frying the frying pan and jumped into direct fire. Yeah. If you don't know, just tell us, I don't know, but I'm open to learn. Yeah, so there's some things that you should let your partner know, by the way. Because somebody who's meant there to stay, he'll be there to stay. No matter what you tell them.
Some people should be free.
Yeah.
To let their partners know.
Yes. Because limited the day they know is the day they leave. Or the day they change and start treating you anyhow.
Yeah.
In fact, it's usually nice if it comes from you and it comes clean and tell them.
Yeah. So people should
They'll
communicate.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to cook, communicate. If you are sick, communicate.
Also, men should also communicate. Nobody likes working, so you should not pressure us to give you money.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes, just for example, this man is working in some toxic environment, constantly getting verbal abuse from the boss and all that, and many other conditions. They have workplace jealousy, and many other things. You find some people fighting you so bad in an organization. Then you go back home, your woman is there making noise and quarreling you left and right. It's never good. And we'll have also episode 2. Just talk about some of the challenges that men face that they never talk about. So guys, ensure you stay tuned and we'll give you a lot of info. And at least so that as a man, if you have not married, you know what may come forth and be psychologically ready to handle them or raised a woman before you marry. Yeah, do you have any concern? So guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, share. See you in our next video. Bye bye.
Bye.